Good morning, my brothers and sisters, on this episode number 189 of the Good Morning Guys podcast. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine morning, afternoon, evening, or night as we continue discussing the game of life amidst the other games we love to watch and to play. I am one of your four hosts, the Brazilian Mountaineer and Transition Ninja, Lucas Ham Swisher. Also with me, the judge, the jury, and the executioner of fake news and spoilers, Patrick Novosel.
It is good to be here.
Yes, it is. On his left and my right, only in spirit, the tarnished beast of the East who can make you laugh in 3 words or less, or your money back, Ronnie Johantis.
Tarnished, goodness.
Yeah.
Ye tarnished.
It's all about that Elden Ring. Rayla, quit licking my hand. Yeah, I'm not saying like he himself is tarnished. Like
He may be. Who knows?
I mean, he might be. You know, you don't know. You don't know. You never know. And last but certainly not least, the final member of the GMG Quadfecta who's got music in his heart, Hyrule on his brain, and La Carreta in his old stomacho, Marc Boucher.
You can actually say I have Doctor Who on the brain this week.
What?
Yeah.
Nope, not changing it.
Okay. Fair, but we'll get into that for my update.
A little bit of a preview for the old update. Well, since you bring it up, Mark, Patrick, why don't you start us out with what's new news?
So
We'd love to hear what's going on with you.
That's fine. That's fine.
I mean, Life Front, all about Easter, but we'll talk a little bit more about that later. So put a pin in it. Gonna put a pin in it. Bink. And we will talk about that a little bit later. So on the TV front, I'm still rolling through F1 Drive to Survive on Netflix. I just finished season 3.
Putting that fun in F1.
My goodness. The 9th episode of season 3. This the episode's called Man on Fire, and it's about this huge wreck that happens. And if you have a chance, if you watch no other episodes for the F1 whole series, watch season 3, episode 9. It is the most amazing, crazy, horrific. I mean, like all emotions in this episode, and you don't really need to know about all the racers, because you can watch it and you can just understand what's going on. If you don't know who Romain Grosjean is, he is an F1 racer. He was racing for, I believe, Haas. Again, Romain Grosjean. If you don't have Netflix or whatever, go onto YouTube. I'm sure it's on there. It is crazy.
Sounds like something I put in my salad.
Can I get a little Romain Grosjean on this?
Just a little extra, please. It's my favorite.
Yeah. What aisle is that in? But yeah, it was really cool. So I'm on to season 4 now. Haven't started it yet, but I will probably sometime this week.
Nice.
On the movie front, I went and saw Sonic 2.
What? I had no idea.
Yes.
I did not see that coming on your TV behind you.
Yeah, it's right here.
There it was.
Sonic 1 was good, and this one was just as good, if not better. I don't really know if it's any better or not, but it's still really, really good. They, you see the trailers, they introduce Tails and Knuckles, and Dr. Robotnik is back. The
in his full form, his full glory, with his huge mustache the whole time.
Yeah, the comedy was there. There was a lot of references to not only Sonic games, but pop culture and political things that are happening. It was just really well done. That was subtle, and then they just moved on to the next thing, and you're just like, wow, that was actually pretty funny. So we really enjoyed it. The whole family saw it. So really, really, really fun time. I recommend it.
May have to make that a date night for me and Kristen.
Yeah, it's fun for all ages, for sure.
Sweet.
Let me know when you're going to go, Mark, and I'll swing by.
Sounds great.
Be a third wheel. It'll be fun.
Hey, wow, wasn't that great?
Just
great movie.
Just have you
just make FaceTime. A fart sound.
Yeah. And
Fair
then on the gaming front, nothing really has changed. Still playing a little bit of Fortnite, WWE 2K22. However, I finally finished my faction in WWE.
I don't believe you.
Oh my goodness. It took so long. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into that mode. I probably put about 65 to 70 hours into that mode. Finally finished it. Got the trophy. I was the 51st person to get the trophy. Oh, I was like, yeah, let's go.
You know, what you just
PSN
accomplished.
profiles.
What you just accomplished reminds me of a song. You've only just begun.
yeah. So I ended up finishing that, and then I went over to my GM, which is basically like you are a general manager for Raw or SmackDown or maybe NXT or something like that, and then
Element OP. That's the other one.
you have a certain budget. And then you have to sign your roster. You have to go through a draft. You can sign legends. You can sign free agents. You set your matches and all this kind of stuff throughout for like 15, 20, 25 weeks, whatever. I just did 15 weeks. I went through the mode. And after about 5 weeks, I was like, wow, I do not enjoy this as much as I did. Because it was just like, it was a lot of managing things. And I'm like, why can't I have this wrestler? Oh, because I don't have enough money. I'm just like, I just want to wrestle. So
fart sounds coming out of you all night long.
Feeling mighty flatulent tonight.
I did do that.
You need to get that checked out. Go to the doctor.
Yeah. So I finished that. I started like you can sim all matches. You can play the matches or you can just sim them all. I just started to sim them all. And I think it was like 7 or 8 trophies I was able to get in like an hour. So I finished that mode. Now I'm on to the career mode.
Sim-em-all mode.
Sim-em-all.
Sounds like something you put on a salad with romaine. I gotta get some sim-em-all on that.
Sim-em-all sounds like something
or something like that.
Get from your doctor. Yeah, can I get a prescription for sim-em-all?
Yeah.
Side effects include dry mouth. Vomiting.
Wait, just one?
I was trying to think of other ones.
If you're allergic to
vomiting,
sim-em-all, don't take
uncontrollable
sim-em-all.
fits of anger.
Yeah. Don't drive heavy machinery or forklifts. Dang it.
Yeah. So yeah, ho-hum week this past week.
All right, Marcus, tell us about anything except Doctor Who. Just kidding.
Fantastic.
JK, go ahead. Get in there. Tell us all about it.
Here's what
We'll talk
happened.
about it next week.
We watched Doctor Who.
I can't tell you how many weeks I said you had Doctor Who on the brain and you didn't talk about Doctor Who. And so then I finally changed it to other stuff and you're like, yeah, I watched Doctor Who. It was great. I'm like, all right.
Well, that's because Doctor Who only comes on like every once in a blue moon. It disappears for months and months on end, and then it's like, hey, we're back.
Yeah. Saw you standing
Is it a whole
alone
new season?
without a dream in your heart.
It's
New
not
Doctor?
a season, it's a special. So it was only a one-off episode.
Aw, you're special.
Yeah. So British television is weird the way that they film shows.
It is. Yep. Agreed.
And so like they had a new season back in like September, October, something like that, and then they disappeared for months, and then they brought back a special Easter episode. It had nothing to do with Easter whatsoever, but they debuted it on Easter. So that was on last night, and then they have another episode that's coming in the fall, in which the current.
Is that going to be a Labor Day?
What?
Labor Day special?
It's going to be
Or,
Arbor Day.
Arbor Day special?
I have
They
no
did
idea
that
when
with-
Arbor Day is. It's probably not.
I don't
even that time of year.
I was like, what's a British holiday during? I'm just going to pick a holiday. Labor Day.
Just waiting for the "we wrong" thread saying actually.
Bring it. You know what? We'll take it.
Actually.
Imagine
But
if
yeah.
Moon Knight did that. They're like, all right, there's a 30-minute episode this week, and then you have to wait until September to get episode 2.
I would hate that.
Ugh.
Thank you, Marvel, for not doing that. But yeah, they have another episode coming in the fall, and that'll be the episode where the current actress who's playing the Doctor, she will regenerate, and they'll be getting a new actor.
All right.
Yeah. You seem confused, Patrick.
Like regenerate, just like all of a sudden I start thinking of someone just like regrowing an arm, like in Iron Man 3 when his arm
Yeah,
gets
except
chopped off.
it's their face.
It's their
Doctor Who's
entire
face.
physiological being.
Go into
Have you-
a cocoon and they come out in a different person.
Patrick, have you not been paying attention these past 188 episodes? Marcus has explained this to us.
This is Exploding Kittens all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so that's like one of the biggest plot devices I think in television history is that they figured out this way. It's the main character is an alien. So when the character is close to death, this person regenerates their entire body and takes the form of a different person, although it's the same actual person. They just look different.
Is that like to fake death out and be like, no,
Basically.
you were trying to kill the other guy over there. He's over there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, basically.
Go kill that guy now.
And that's their excuse to be able to switch actors.
Yeah.
But
it works.
But yeah, that's happening in the fall. But they had a special on last night, which was great. It's kind of like a precursor, like this is what's coming for the final episode of her, of this doctor's time on the show. So, but no, it was a great episode. It was fun to watch, and that's all you need to know.
Now, didn't she start around the time we started the podcast?
Maybe a little bit after.
It was a little bit after. Okay,
Yeah,
because I
she's
remember
been
us talking about. We talked about Tartarus within the first 5 episodes, if not less.
Yeah, she's
First
been
3
through,
episodes.
I want to say 3 seasons now. So it's been at least like probably 2 or 3 years, something like that.
Yeah.
So, but that's about how long they go. Usually is about 3 seasons, and then they're like, nope, I'm done.
Okay.
Moving on. But we still don't know who's replacing her at this point. But we'll see. But it was definitely fun to watch. And of course, on the IRL side of things, we had Easter stuff. We'll talk more about that later.
Just so you know, she started on the 25th of December 2017.
Really? She's really been there that long?
Yep.
Huh.
She was in 2018, Series 11, 2020, 12, 21, and Special 22.
That's right, because she was in the Christmas special. She regenerated.
2019, they did not have any episodes.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where your 3 years is getting mixed up, because it's actually
British television, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
It's crazy Brits.
That would drive me insane. In fact, it does, actually. So,
her first regular appearance was 2018 with The Woman Who Fell to Earth.
Yep. I remember that episode.
I do not.
I figured as much. I did not.
I did not.
But yeah, good time watching that. And then
nice.
Obviously keeping up on the Moon Knight and the Halo side of things, keeping going on all that in terms of TV stuff.
Well, put a pin in Moon Knight. Yep. Is Halo still keeping you interested, connected?
Yes, but I'm concerned.
Obligated? I'm concerned.
Yes, I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Because it's been 4 episodes since we've seen Master Chief do any sort of action, like shooting a gun, things like that.
You didn't play Halo 3.5 where he
the new
he just goes on
Halo
and he
series.
goes on jogs and he builds relationships with people on the star station and
the walking simulator
plays.
Kind of makes sense because they're working into the relationship with Cortana. And things
he
like
did that in action during the video games. They built their relationship.
But this is like first meeting Cortana, first time they've ever met kind of stuff.
Okay.
But yeah. So yeah, there really hasn't been a whole, there's been action, but it hasn't been on the part of Master Chief, which is really kind of frustrating. I'm hoping next episode
any sense.
That. But otherwise, like I'm still there. It hasn't shut me off entirely to it, but I'm concerned. I didn't hate it.
Good to know. Good to know.
Stamp of approval right there.
That's right. That's right.
I'm open. They have 6 more episodes to really kick things up a notch.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. So we'll see. But I'm still okay. I'm still okay with
Now
it.
this is directed by Steven Spielberg, correct?
I don't know if he's the director or if he's the executive
Or
producer.
produced?
Yeah.
Executive
I'm sure he's a
producer.
producer.
Right.
Basically,
Yeah.
that means
Yeah.
he's giving money to it.
Right.
See, sometimes for me, when I see that kind of stuff happen, my first thought is, okay, they got somebody who's guiding it, who either A, didn't play the video games, or B, didn't play the video games. Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm fine with making new stories, but respect like what the majority of people who are watching this want to see Master Chief be Master Chief.
Yeah.
So I don't get that. Like, I'm not watching it, so I can't really say much other than like what you're giving me, but that doesn't make any sense to me.
I will tell you this though right now.
Tell me.
I have seen more male butts on this like
You're
naked
still not
butts
selling it for me.
on this show. Yeah, I'm not
Naked butts.
I'm not trying to sell you on that.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough. Thank you.
Oh.
like I don't understand. Like it's like every other episode, like more male naked butts than on any other show. Like I don't understand. Like I don't need to see that. Like
I
mean,
what?
Patrick, have you not been keeping up with this? Apparently,
I've watched episode 1. I haven't watched any.
Oh,
of it.
okay, fair enough.
More than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets cheekier as you go on.
That's must be very British produced.
Hey.
Gosh.
Ayo.
But yeah, no, I'm still, despite all of that,
Despite all the butts.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lost me. I'm gonna read the story on Wikipedia. You've sealed the deal. I'm like, I don't need that in my life.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like it's so needless. Like, come on now. But I'm not completely shut off from the show. Although if it's one more episode where he's not doing anything, I mean he's doing things.
Showing off his butt cheeks.
Yeah, if he's doing stuff, but he's not like
He's like typing on a keyboard.
Shooting Covenant.
He's over there just like untangling cords. Like
he's like sitting on a medical bench.
Cortana, we have these cords tangled. We need to take care of it.
Yeah, they go to this planet where they're trying to find this particular MacGuffin and all this kind of stuff. And he's walking around. He's trying to remember things and like. Like we've seen such little.
Does he have Alzheimer's?
Well, no, they wipe.
Where are those cords?
As part of the Spartan program, they wipe your memories.
Why do you keep calling me Master Chef? I'm not a chef. I never cooked in my life.
Am I?
Or wait.
So, I will say this now. I better see Master
Chief. I know how to boil salt.
Yeah. I better see Master Chief kicking some Covenant tail this next episode.
No, Covenant butt cheeks. That's what they're gonna.
I really hope
if they do that.
What did they do to the Covenant system of the butt cheeks?
You're right. No one has played this game.
Oh, they flat out said we did not play the games.
Why? How do you do that? How do you pick a guy or a person? Wouldn't that be part of your research into making sure that the Halo TV series is true to the Halo universe?
They basically have picked and chosen what they want. Like it's
what are they picking and choosing it from different series? Like, let's get it from the Uncharted series.
Dartboard.
I played that game.
No, so
I played Ghost of Tsushima. That's where
there are butt cheeks. That's where the butt cheeks come from.
The framework is there in the fact that like there's a Spartan program, there's a Master Chief, there's Cortana, there's a Dr. Halsey, there's
a butt.
There's Miranda Keys.
That's the butt. There's 2 of them.
Yeah, there's more than 2 of them.
Oh no!
They they line them up or something?
No.
No.
That's the one right there. He did it.
That's definitely Master Chef's butt cheeks. Oh my gosh.
So, Okay, so now that nobody's gonna watch this show,
Surprise, folks. Surprise, folks. That's the topic of the show. Master Chief's butt cheeks.
please do not put that on the graphic.
You've now sealed the deal. Patrick's gonna find a way. If he can get Rite Aid and
I'll blur it.
Queen together, he can find a way to at least insinuate what we've just talked about.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on.
Wow.
That's been pretty much.
That was not what I expected when
Yeah.
you were gonna say you didn't hate it.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna really try to sell me on it when I was.
No, I'm not.
No, you were like, you know what else?
Butt cheeks. Yeah. I feel
Put
like
it on
we're
wax.
tap dancing on the line of getting an explicit tag. But
Do you think butt cheeks is explicit?
no, it's
No,
not. But
no. I think if you say butt cheeks enough, maybe there's like
Yeah.
a limit.
what type of show
Maybe
is this?
50 butt cheeks will get you an explicit. We'll just go to 49.
I don't know how many we're at. We better stop.
Oh yeah. Let's listen to the recording recount. All right.
I'll delete a couple.
Mark, what else you got? Please help us.
I'm trying. I'm trying here.
I know you are, but we're not letting you. Okay, I'll stop.
Okay, so on the gaming side of things, very
Yeah.
much still into Fortnite. Played with Caleb from the Mountain Nerds podcast
Hey.
and his wife Taylor, as well as LJ from the Geeks Under Grace podcast.
All right.
On Friday night, and played several rounds of Fortnite. Still absolutely having a great time with that. Making my
Good.
way up the levels, if you will.
Okay.
I don't think I've actually bought the battle pass yet. I probably will.
Wow, freeloader.
Yeah. How dare I
It's all
for a
good.
free-to-play game, you know?
How dare you? How dare you freeload?
Yep. Been also moving the needle on Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. It's still a fun game to play. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else I was playing. Definitely played some Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga.
Oh, we have some things to discuss then, because I also played it.
Yes, I'm like just started it tonight, like first hour or so of like I'm still in episode 1 and all that.
Well, if you're in the first hour, you're about halfway through episode 1, so
Really? It's that short?
it's
Yeah, I think
super
they
short.
Take like 2 hours per episode. If you just like mainline
if
it.
you don't, yeah, because they do give you options between missions to do little side stuff. So
Yeah.
if you just do the main missions, yeah, it's no more than 2 hours
Okay. All
per
right.
episode, right around there.
Good to know. But I mean, I'm having fun with it so far. It's very much a Lego game that they've upgraded quite a bit. But we'll talk more about that with your update.
Sure.
Broke into Zelda Majora's Mask on Saturday on stream. And so I don't know. I'm okay with it still, but I again not like Halo, but I have concerns.
Their butt cheeks in this
There are
one
no
too.
butt cheeks in this. And if they were,
Little
they would be
Tingle. What's the
super
little
polygonal.
the inappropriate shopkeeper guy? Tingle, or
Yeah, Tingle.
you got to watch out for him.
I don't know. I don't understand how they keep using that character in that game, but
I don't either.
but yeah,
Bit of an odd
what
bird.
I don't care for is the time mechanic, which you would think with a time travel person like me, like how much I love time travel stuff, that I would enjoy a time travel mechanic. But this particular type is not fun.
It's kind of like it's adding pressure to what you're doing, like kind of rushing you, right?
Yeah, Aaron, you done messed up, Ron, on our Discord. He was there watching the stream, and he summed it up perfectly. It's got like roguelike type stuff.
Uh-oh. Have you played it before? Had you played it before?
It's been a while since I played it.
Okay.
But you only have a certain period of time in which you need to get to a particular place, and then if you run out of time, you have to play a certain song on your ocarina, and you get sent back 3 days, in which you lose certain items when you do that. And so you have to be real strategic about when you do that. And that's just kind of frustrating. Like, I don't want to think about that. But I haven't, like I said, I haven't given up on it. It's still enjoyable for me. There's updates that they've done to the game from Ocarina. A lot of the game, like, this game was made in, I think, under a year, in terms of development, and they reused a lot of the assets that they used in Ocarina of Time for this game.
Right.
So that's why they were able to get such a quick turnaround. But I'm not shut out of this game yet. I'm still definitely going to keep playing it. No rage quit or anything like that yet. But I'm already like, I'm remembering why I didn't care for it so much. But we'll keep going with it for sure. And I think that is about it for me. Lucas?
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
How was your week?
It was it's pretty normal. Not much really happened.
Normal, huh?
Yeah, just hanging out.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, you're right. I'm lying. Man, what a week. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump out the gun. Just get right to the point. My daughter Natasha got baptized last week.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a awesome moment, a momentous occasion. We had actually delayed it a couple weeks, as I think I'd mentioned on the podcast, maybe not, but we had postponed it because every weekend from when we had planned it until now, it would be hot during the week, and then the temperature would dip down and it would rain during the weekends. And we finally just had to pick a weekend. It's the last weekend that Mindy's dad is here. My father-in-law, Tasha's, grandfather, we wanted him to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And to be here as a kind of a representative to that side of the family in the U.S. or really just our U.S. family representative. And so this past Saturday, we went to some coworkers' a coworker's house, a family that Mindy works with, and they have a pool, and they're right off the Represa, which is a man-made lake that they have, and just beautiful view. It did get kind of chilly. It was in like the upper 60s. So
goodness,
for the baptismal part, it was pretty quick. Like we got into the pool, we said Jesus is Lord and Savior, this, that, and the other. Yes, you will. Yes, you do. Yes, you believe. Amen. Hallelujah. And then dunked her and got out because it was, that water was cold. And I'm pretty sure Tasha was like shivering, teeth chattering for at least a couple hours afterwards. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, she was like, she had a hard time recovering from that.
For Jesus.
Suffering. Yep. Just suffering for her Lord and Savior. It was worth it all, but it was a beautiful moment. Not just, having but quite a number of special people in her life, a number of her teachers over the years, people that have been a part of her life. And I think we had a representative from most of the churches we've been a part of. So that was really cool. And then everybody else joined online. And I know you guys joined, a number of joiners, family members from West Virginia, Ohio, Florida, just people from all over the U.S. and even Brazil too. It was a really cool occasion just to do that and kind of have like a little multilingual service in English and in Portuguese. And so it was really good. It was really fun.
I felt bad for your guitar player.
Oh yeah.
Because you were leading worship and everything, like another in the fire. Like for some reason he was just not getting the timing down.
Well, the reason he wasn't getting the timing down is because he didn't know it before, and he listened to it once and relied and we didn't. We said we were going to practice, but then we got focused on other stuff, and we actually didn't practice anything ahead of time. Like we just sang it there, and I was like, we were starting, and I was like, oh man, we really should have practiced, but we just winged it. And we survived. Yeah, that first verse was pretty rough, and for me, I could have just led the song a cappella, but once I hear like someone playing music, my brain wants to follow the guitar,
Yeah.
and then it just kind of jacks up my rhythm. And so he was like trying to follow me, and I was trying to follow him. We eventually got it, but
Yeah.
it took a minute. But at least the other two songs, I think, for the most part, worked out.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a good time. So that was really cool thing that happened over the weekend. Then also on a less cool but still cool note, definitely not comparable to your daughter getting baptized, but our dog Rayla turned 1 year old. So
Yay! Happy
I
birthday,
got her
Rayla.
I got her a present. She looked at me just now like, "Are you talking about me?" Yes, I'm talking
Do you
about you.
have something for me?
Yeah. um got her a little pink uh swirly uh bowl, a food dish, because I took her to the vet and the vet said she's eating too fast. She needs to eat
Ooh.
slower. So I had to get one of those swirly ones where you put the food in the
Oh
crevices,
my gosh, yeah.
and it takes the dog longer to eat it.
I've
Uh,
seen I've seen dogs on videos online where they just like take the bowl and just flip it over because they don't it takes them forever to eat
oh,
it.
really? She
Yeah.
hasn't figured that out yet. I can imagine she would want to, because I don't know if I don't think I've talked about it, but she literally would eat all her food, and it was like 2 cups of food, and she would eat it in like faster than we could walk from her eating area to the house,
Oh my
like 10
gosh.
seconds, 15 seconds. She would just be like,
Inhale
like
it.
just inhale it. Like she wouldn't even chew or anything. So the vet said that she was a little light. She's 55 pounds. She's supposed to be closer to 60. And they attributed that to her eating too fast and not properly digesting. So we're going to see if that helps with that process. But I gave her her favorite snack for her birthday, which we call bacon fingers. It's when I cook with bacon, and then instead of washing my hands or wiping it off with a towel, I just offer my fingers to her, and she licks it up. And that's her favorite snack, bacon fingers. So those were her birthday presents.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. On the old gaming front, you'll be happy to know I've pretty much Magic shaking his head. That
He's like, don't even do it.
I finally finished Factions, and I'm going on to the next.
Is that the new DLC for Dead Cells?
Yeah, baby. No, I played some old classics, as I had warned you guys last week. I just spent the last week. I slayed the Spire a couple times. I returned to and explored the land of the undead with my little beheaded friend, and I incurred the wrath of Hades once again. And boy, oh boy, let me tell you, I'm not going to talk too much about the first two, but real quick, I got to talk about Hades. Like, it, I just feel like James Franco right now during Spider-Man 3 when the waitress walks up to him. So good. Like, getting back into this game. The story is so good. The gameplay, the voice acting is so good. I did add some extra challenge to my playthrough from the get-go, put it on hell mode, automatic 5 heat. You don't get a protective bubble, which is standard on a normal or God mode game, where you can't get spammed damage, like his laser beams at the end. In a normal game, you have a protective bubble that'll stop the damage from just totally annihilating you. And in this hell mode, you have no protective bubble. And then you automatically have extra damage, extra enemies. And let me tell you, shaking the rust off those first few runs, I couldn't even get out of the first area. Like, I got to Magira and she just wiped me all over the floor. It was not cool. But once I got the hang of it, once I started making some progress, I now have 2 straight completions under my belt, and I'm currently on run number 10, working on completion number 3. So I'm continuing that story. And then I, of course, am going to return to Horizon Forbidden West this week and get the needle moving on that.
Are you? Are you really?
I am dedicated. I'm going to do it tomorrow.
Okay.
Mark my words. I've been streaming like a madman every day. So
What about your words?
I can prove it. Markham, with a K, not with a C, not
Okay.
Mark with a C. But now taking the pen out of Lego Star Wars, played it with my kids. We completed episode 1, Phantom Menace. And honestly, my early impressions as an avid Lego game player with my kids and also by myself. They're a little mixed. They lean towards the positive, but and I want to start with the positive. The graphics, absolutely beautiful, like the most beautiful Lego game ever in the history of Lego games. The gameplay is fresh, it's fun, the humor is hilarious. I feel like they've combined their verbal humor with their prop humor and their situational. Like they have these little gags and things that they do that are really good. I'm going to say the negative side of things, the things that I'm getting hung up on a little bit. I find that the voice acting is a mixed bag. The OG people that you can tell are the OG voices are great. The B tier VO people like Qui-Gon Jinn, who sounds
Not
like
even
Sean
close.
Connery, not even
close.
trying. It's like Halo butt cheeks. Like they're not even trying to match the real thing. Why would you do that? Qui-Gon Jinn butt cheeks is pretty much what it is.
It's hard for anybody to sound like Liam Neeson. So
it is, but he sounds like Sean Connery. So
he
be
doesn't
Sean
sound
Connery.
anything like him.
It doesn't. It's like he's not even trying. But and there are a few others that have popped up where I'm like, that does not sound right. Now I don't need them to all sound exactly. I understand that they've added stuff and all that, and that's fine. But it's just kind of weird. It's kind of jarring me a little bit. And I feel like overall the pacing of, after finishing episode 1, a quarter of the episode 1 was literally fighting Darth Maul, which was amazing. The Darth Maul fight, no spoilers, Mark, you're going to get to it, was really fun. There's little mini puzzles and little mini games and things you got to do to fight, Darth Maul. And it was really funny how they ended it, but it was really out of balance. Like I felt like they were rush, like getting through to each scene, and then they get to Darth Maul fight. And they're like, let's enjoy the duel of the fates and really take it all in. And I'm like, that's great, but make the whole thing. Let me take in the whole thing. I just felt like it's really rushed through it all. So those are my early impressions. Patrick, have you played it yet?
Yes, I have.
I've
gotten through all the way through episode 1, and I gotta tell you, the Duel of the Fates, the end of the Duel of the Fates was hilarious.
So funny,
was so funny. And I'm not a big Lego fan, but I am a big Star Wars fan.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
The way that they went through episode 1, and now I'm a little bit through episode 2, but it follows the story.
It does.
And they add their humor to it. Some little quips and things like that.
Their humor's great.
Yeah. So I am enjoying it. I mean, like, speaking of the voices, like little Anakin Skywalker, not even close. Like, not even close. Like, who is this girl that's talking? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what happens when all of your budget goes to the game mechanics itself and not so much the voice acting.
Yeah, the game mechanics are nice. The like you said, it is a beautiful, beautiful game. Nice, crisp, clean, smooth game.
For sure.
It's just like the only thing for me is some of the voice acting. Now, who knows what the voice acting is going to be as I play in the later episodes. But the first episode of Qui-Gon Jinn, a little Anakin, I'm like, this is not even.
Well, here's the nice thing about that: you only have to deal with that for one episode.
That's true.
Yeah, right. And Jar Jar in episode 1.
Yeah,
that was a lot of Jar Jar.
Yeah, there's too much Jar Jar in any iteration of episode 1. I do feel like, though, there's good potential. There are a lot of extra things in open world, things that look amazing, but with the kids, they've just followed the markers and gone to each one. I feel like after we finish all the episodes, we'll probably have a few sessions where we'll just explore the galaxy. And I think that's a really cool aspect that I think they allude to when you're playing it, but they also at the same time, like, they're like, go here so you can start the next mission.
Yeah.
They don't give you a whole lot of incentive to explore and look around, but I have a feeling that's going to be a really positive a positive aspect as well.
Yeah.
Excuse me, got throat clear there. Last thing, today I played a new game. It was a demo. Patrick shaking his head because he probably saw Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins.
What?
And wow, let me tell you, it did not disappoint. I will have to say, if I can get my hands on this game for free, I will play it just to do a roast cast because this game, this game is atrocious. It has the graphics of PlayStation 2. It has voice acting of PlayStation 1.
Fantastic.
And the voices talk so stoically, but even more stoic, the animation of the face. They're just like, I'm gonna kill chaos. I hate this. There are times when one person says a word and then the response of the other characters is
Of course. Yeah, of course.
That's it. That's it. And then they just stare at each other like someone else is supposed to say something. It's like, oh, it's your line. It's like, oh, like that's all they do. And it is seriously like, I just can't believe it. In this game, you play as Jack, a guy who's set on killing chaos from the get-go. Like he automatically says, I just want to kill chaos. Like he's like a Clint Eastwood mixed with, I don't even know who, like some just young blonde guy in jeans and a shirt. Like he
not
just
Noctis.
No, not Noctis was way cooler than this guy. Like
no way.
Yeah, way like way cooler.
More like Titus from Final Fantasy X.
I would almost take Titus over this guy. Like, with his laugh and everything, I would take Titus. Like at one point in the demo, they're leading you to the tutorial, and he's listening to Frank Sinatra's "I Did It My Way" on his MP3 player. Like he's just walking and da, 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 da.
That's a
Did It My Way.
Fantasy.
And it's like, what are you doing? And then he just shuts it off, and then you start the tutorial of learning how to fight. At another point, he's listening to someone says something, and he's just like, no. And he turns around and he pops in Rage Against the Machine and just walks away and is like listening to it in his little headphones. Like,
okay,
I have no idea what's happening, but he's at some point very early on joined by Jed and Ash, these two characters that they're just like, they within 5 seconds, they realize they're on the same mission, and then they all put their fists in like Power Rangers, like let's power up together. And
they meet the villain of the game, Bob.
And then they meet Neon, and they fight creatures. They meet Neon. She's a girl that wears like a Sailor Moon outfit that's all blue and white, and they fight creatures that bleed some kind of jam that turns into rubies. And then that's I don't know what else I could throw out there that just conveys the madness of this game. Like, I don't understand who thought this was a good idea, but it is crazy. You thought we were a garbage truck on fire. This game is a garbage truck on fire. Like, I'm just sitting there laughing at everything that's happening.
It is the Rolls Royce of garbage trucks, garbage on fire.
Wow.
It really is. It really is. So, all right. Enough of that crazy silliness. I'm just laughing thinking about it. One thing I almost forgot to mention. Happy Easter Monday. For those who didn't know, in Canada, the day after Easter is Easter Monday, and it's a day to celebrate. And to prove it, I wrote Chris, the Canadian Rock, and said, hey, man, what is this Easter Monday all about? And he responded to me, is this for real? Is this a trick question? You really want to know? He said, here's what it is. Easter Monday, quite simply, is the day after Easter Sunday. It is also called Renewal Monday, Wet Monday, and Bright Monday. I have no idea where the Wet Monday comes. That's weird. According to the National Day. In the Catholic Church, it's also called Monday of the Angel, pertaining to the angel's meeting of the women in Jesus' tomb. Although Easter Monday is not considered a public holiday in the U.S., it used to be one in none other than our favorite state, North Kakalaki. From 1937, that's North Carolina, for those who didn't listen to the first few episodes of our show. 1937 to 1987. I think Bernabe lives in North or South.
Yeah.
Kakalaki,
He lives in
North Kakalaki.
Yeah, he lives in Charlotte, I think.
So you missed your chance, Bernabe. If you would have been there back in the old 80s, you could have celebrated Easter Monday. They used to close schools. Or Wet Monday. You can celebrate a Wet Monday. It's still a public holiday in Australia, the UK, Spain, Canada, the Netherlands, Ghana, and Kenya. So there you go. Happy Easter Monday.
My
Speaking
wife
of
had off
Easter,
today.
Speaking of what Mondays?
speaking of West, did she? Lucky. Speaking of Easter, that's our topic. That's right, folks. We are taking the Monday out of Easter Monday and talking about Easter. I hope you're excited. It's going to be a good time, a good old time. So, yeah, who wants to start sharing first what they did for their Easter? Continue their updates. Anyone?
Rock, papers, scissors, shoot.
Bunny.
Oh,
You're
you
up.
can't do that.
Okay, you're right. Patrick,
What's
how was
up?
your Easter, my friend?
It was
Oh, did you
good.
do the fire? Did you do the Easter fire?
I won.
Holy Fire
Uh,
Monday.
Yeah, it was good.
Great. Mark, how about you?
Moving on.
No, but seriously,
no,
what do you
so-
do? What do you do
no.
with your kids? Tell us. I mean, Easter at some point when you're an adult, it's just like at least the commercial fun side is just
Yeah.
like whatever.
Yeah, so
So
with the kids, we do for the in-laws after we eat dinner, we have big huge 2-foot chocolate bunnies that we get out, and they're like hollow chocolate bunnies, and everyone gets in a line. We have like a metal spoon that they use, and they just like whack the bunny, and whatever piece falls off, that's their piece. So it's like the smallest kids go first, and then the bigger kids go last. And then they just continue to. And when 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds and 8-year-olds, when they're whacking like this chocolate bunny with a spoon, they don't follow through. It just like hits the bunny and then just like makes a crease. So when the bigger kids get in there, they actually know how to
There you go.
swing the spoon.
they want that chocolate.
And then when the bigger kids get in there, it gives a little bit of it becomes more fragile, so that when the little kids do it the second time, then they start getting pieces. So we do that every year. This year we had maybe four bunnies, but they were smaller. Maybe like a foot size. But there's a picture. I have a picture of Clark where there was one of the bunnies was actually a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. So
Yeah, why not?
yeah, he was the first one to get in there, and he just went after the neck of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and
Straight for the jugular.
the whole head just fell off, and he was like holding it with his big huge Tyrannosaurus Rex in his palm of his hands. He's like, "This is my piece." And so he's imagine when kids have chocolate in their hands that is bigger than their face, that it's going to be everywhere. So
That is correct.
Gosh.
yeah, and so that's a fun
Massacre.
little thing we do with the with the in-laws. And then for us, in the morning, usually the night before, is we'll get in there and we'll hide eggs all over the living room, whether that's behind curtains or under couches and things like that. And so they have to find them.
Are these hard-boiled eggs, or are these like eggs you can make a mess with, or
they're not hard boiled eggs.
What kind of Easter is
They're
this?
soft boiled. No, it's the Easter
Wait,
eggs.
what's the difference between soft-boiled and hard-boiled?
I think soft boiled is like not cooked. Is that right? I don't know. Maybe I'm just making things up.
How can it be boiled if it's not cooked?
It's refrigerated.
Refrigerated? The boiled in the refrigerator? You're
Yeah,
confusing.
that's the new way to boil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
Northern Hemisphere talk. Gotcha.
these.
We don't do that here.
yeah, we're the refrigerated boil family.
I guess so.
No, it's the eggs with the candy inside of it, and so
okay.
we hide those all, and then we get them an Easter basket filled with some candy that we couldn't fit in the Easter eggs, and then get them a couple toys, like Dollar Tree toys kind of thing, so that they can have something to play with. But yeah,
For 5 seconds.
Well, yeah, right, yeah,
Those are the best.
for sure.
Wow,
Yeah.
this is really cool. One day later.
It's those
crap.
like little plastic helicopters that you shoot once and they're gone. They break.
Yeah. Yep.
Fantastic.
Yeah. That's what we do every year.
Nice.
So I don't have children.
All right. Well, what do you do with Cisco?
Well, I definitely don't give him chocolate because that ain't
That's
happening.
a
That's
good idea
good.
not to
Good
do
idea.
that.
Yep.
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 Good thinking.
Yeah. Basically, all our main Easter activities are centered around church. You know, usually first thing in the morning. Usually in the place of our Sunday school hour, we instead have a breakfast with the whole church.
Yeah.
So which was fantastic as always. And then, of course, service afterward. One of the main traditions that we do at our church is we have this time during the service where we have a cross that's got this like mesh wire on it, and you're able to put like flowers on the cross. And so we call up all the kids, and they basically help out putting all these flowers on the cross. And when it's finished, it's just this beautiful display, kind of symbolizing, going from death to life, new life, in
Yeah.
terms of what Christ did on the cross and things like that. So that's one of our main sort of traditions, if you will. And so that was the better part of my day. And then afterwards, we went straight on over to my sister's boyfriend's house. He has a very lovely home. And so it was my sister and her 3 kids, and then Kristen and myself, and then my dad and my stepmom, and then her boyfriend Jim and his 2 daughters and a son. And so we had a bunch of food out there for us to partake in. It was funny, they set up an Easter egg hunt, which his son was the only one who was partaking in the Easter egg hunt.
All right. Yeah.
So they got the older kids to hide all the eggs, and then he just went around and went looking for them. And I still don't think he found 2 of the eggs, which were like right in front of the door to the front house. But yeah, we watched him do that and just hung out, and that was mainly all it was just time with family and church time and all that stuff, and then of course Doctor Who in the evening.
There you go. Easter tradition of
Mm-hmm.
watching the Doctor Who special.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, with our family, it's a mix of both of those things. We usually, how it works is on our last visit to the U.S., Mindy's mom stocks us up with Easter stuff. And so we pack that away, keep it in our holiday storage area, I guess, as it were. And then we get that out. Usually the day before, on Saturday, on Silent Saturday, we do the coloring of the eggs, and we hard boil eggs and then dip them in dyes and purples and yellows and blues, and sometimes they put a little cross on it or write words on it, and they have little stickers that they can make the egg a bunny or whatever. So
Nice.
honestly, we gave the kids the option this year because James is 9, so he's still there and interested. But Tasha, she's 12 now, so it's just kind of like I'm waiting for like, oh, I don't want to do that. It's not cool, something like that to happen. So we just kind of gave them the option. Said, do you guys want to color eggs? Do you want to?
Yeah.
You interested? And then they're like, yeah, sure. So they were down with it. So we did it, and it was fun. And then usually what we do between those eggs that they make and their candies, we just find an area of the house. We were going to do the front yard this time around, since we actually have a yard, but it had just rained the day before. So, or the morning of, we did it on Sunday. So I think it had rained a little bit Sunday morning.
Yeah.
So that wasn't going to be a thing. So we just hid it in our living room area, and, hid eggs and candies and books and around the entertainment unit carefully, and in other areas, making sure the dog was not around to try to grab things and eat them.
Yep.
Because no candy for the dog, no chocolate.
Right.
So let me ask you this:
Ask.
you guys have both mentioned that you guys do like Easter bunny type, like Easter egg hunt type things with your kids.
Yeah.
So then obviously you guys are okay with like reconciling the whole like religious with the non-religious version. And I know for people who aren't religious, you know, the Easter bunny's kind of their thing in terms of Easter. So
Right.
So do you just reconcile? It's just this fun little thing that you do.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of like with Santa.
Yeah.
And Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, we know what the true meaning of Christmas is. Same with Easter. It's just like a fun little thing. Like, I mean, we don't do like the Maul weird sitting on a Easter bunny lap kind of thing, because that's always creeped me out.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen an Easter bunny. You're like, oh yeah, I want to sit on that lap and get a picture taken. Like, no, they're always like our weird, crazy, creepy looking Freddy. Five Nights at Freddy looking like crazy Chuck E. Cheese thing. So no, yeah, we just the only like Easter bunny thing we do is like you hide in the Easter eggs.
Gotcha.
Easter bunny's not even a thing at our house.
Right.
We don't even talk about him. Not that he's not like we give more mind space to Santa Claus, even though we've never pushed, you know, Santa Claus being real or anything. We still, you know, talk about him, and we want our kids to be sensitive to other kids that believe in him and all that. So we've allowed that to be more part of Christmas than we've allowed the Easter bunny to be a part of Easter.
Yeah.
But it's just about, just getting the candy and hiding and finding it and decorating eggs. And most of the time when our kids decorate eggs, like I said, they put a cross on it. There's a mix of kind of making it just, you know, fun. And, you know, we go to service and we're a part of, you know, when there's a sunrise service, I usually go to that. Of course, the worship part of it. And like we went to our church and they pretty much did a cantata, but they just had the worship team do it. Like they had you know, songs that they sang, and then they would have a text in between that they would read.
Yeah.
That kind of covered Holy Weekend, as it were. They didn't cover Holy Week. It pretty much started like Thursday in terms of the calendar for what happens in Jesus's life: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And in some parts they got into greater detail, like of his crucifixion and of other things that happened during that week. And then had songs in between, all in Portuguese. So that was cool to hear that and those kind of things. And so, I think that with that, we just try to kind of have a little bit of both and just
for sure.
enjoy it.
Like for us, like right after we did the Easter egg hunt, we read like 10 chapters of Luke. Like we all sat down or in the living room and I was reading the 10 chapters of Luke. Like this is Easter stuff, the like decorating Easter eggs. That's like the fun part. But you know, it's like this is what Easter's all about. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I just know that like my father-in-law, like anytime Easter comes around and they talk about, like, especially with my nephew, my brother and sister-in-law, they take their nephew to an Easter egg hunt, and there's always the protest. It's like, how dare like this is taking away from the true meaning of Easter and things like that. Why are it? And like, but he gets over it, and actually this year he actually helped out with the church's Easter egg hunt that they're doing that they did. So I'm sure he was silently protesting, but you know, he actually helped out.
Yeah, I was trying to think when I was a kid if I thought, like, when I was really little, if I don't think my parents pushed anything, but there was a part of me that was like, is the Easter bunny real? Like, I don't remember, because I just remember, you know, when I was a kid, I don't remember doing any. I guess I remember doing some Easter egg hunts, but what I really remember as a kid is getting that Easter basket.
Yeah,
that was always chock full of candy. Now, for me, I was very fortunate I usually got a Easter video game, and I remember one in particular.
What?
I remember one in particular where I got Bad Dudes on Nintendo.
What? That, like, what is this? Is Easter? It's not Christmas. Like, or
it was like a mini Christmas for me.
goodness.
I got Bad Dudes one year. I still remember that Easter where I was just like, I want every Easter to be like this.
It's like you can't go down from here, Mom and Dad. Like, seriously.
The narrator.
And then my friends are like,
"Oh, go ahead."
No, go ahead. You
I was
can
gonna
do
say
the narration. I need
the
to hear it.
narrator pops up. It wasn't like that every Easter.
Yeah.
I can hear Morgan Freeman saying that.
Yeah. And that was the last time he got a video game. No, but I remember like I that's pretty much what I did during Easter is I fought bad guys to save the president as the bad dudes. So
Nice.
it was awesome. I think there was another one where I got like Tiny Toon Adventures on Nintendo, or there was like a 2 or 3 year spread where I got a Nintendo game every year for Easter. It was
amazing.
cheap
back in the day.
They were not, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely
I think I
not.
got like. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask, like, what do you guys remember from Easter when you were kids?
So
what you did?
I definitely
Traditions.
got like Easter baskets like from age. I don't know. I don't know if they did it when I was a baby or not, but like the earliest I remember is like 5 or 6, and they did it for several years until like I was 10, I think, and then I finally realized the Easter Bunny wasn't, real.
Spoilers. I hope nobody right now. You better not be listening to this with your kids, because
Yep.
I mean, you should have shut it off a long time ago when we were talking
Yep.
about men's butts.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
That should have been your first warning.
But
Now the Easter Bunny being real.
yeah,
You know what, kids? We'll skip this
just
episode.
crushing dreams left and right.
Yeah, it's might as well.
Yeah, I used to get like big old Easter baskets with tons of different candy, and I think I got like, this was back when VHS was a thing. I would get like movies on VHS, like
Home movies. They would
not home
record you.
movies. My bad. I don't know why I said home
They'd be
movies.
like, here you go. Here's a present for you, Mark.
Hey, here's what we did this past summer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just for you to watch.
yeah. Even though you were there, no, but just like cartoon movies on VHS. Like,
Yeah.
I think one
Nice.
year I got like a knockoff version of Aladdin.
Okay.
On VHS. Yeah. Like I don't even remember, but I think I would get like action figures and other toys and stuff like that in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'd go to my grandparents' house and they would have an Easter basket for us. Or for me, I should say, because it was mainly me. And I guess my cousins as well. They would come by sometimes. But yeah, that was mainly all it was big old basket of candy and stuff. And my parents did the Easter Bunny is real thing for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm.
And then, I found out what was what. But and the same thing with Santa. But yeah, that's pretty much our Easter, getting dressed up for church, getting a big old Easter basket. Sometimes we would go out to breakfast and things like that for Easter. So yeah.
Yeah. Patty, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, it was the same thing we're doing with our kids. We kind of pass that down. We do the Easter egg, color the Easter eggs and do do the Easter hunt, a Easter egg hunt. We go to church, and then after church, we come back home and we have like ham, lunch, things like that. And then, yeah, I mean, let's do the Easter baskets. I never had any crazy Easter basket toys like you guys got. I did get
sorry about your luck.
I did get, get like the kite. I get a kite,
Oh,
I get like
okay.
little, I've gotten little action figures, but they're like, the action figures are like, I don't know who this is supposed to be. This is in none of the shows that I watch. It looks
like Dollar Tree action figures.
Yep.
It was like 5 cent tree back in the day. You're just like, I don't know what this is.
5 cent tree, nickel tree.
It was those action figures that there was no movement. They were just statues,
solid plastic.
Yeah, it's like that's what I had, like
painted with lead paint.
But I did get, I did always get a ton of candy, always a ton of candy, and usually it was with all that fun size candy, and then usually one big regular either king size, or it probably felt like king size when I was little, but just regular size, full size candy bar.
Right.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny when you think about it. like every 6 months, kids are inundated with candy. Like
we just got
Easter
finished
is the
with our
Halloween.
Halloween candy.
Yeah, like you just finished your Halloween candy, and it's like, hey, Easter candy time, and then that'll hold you over until
Halloween,
and then you just
Yeah.
do it all over again. I don't know why people decided Easter is like the candy time, but it is
because people run out of candy.
Yeah.
After Halloween, they're
like,
like, we need another candy holiday.
Speaking of candy, that means it's time to get into Discord, because that's pretty much the focus. When we ask about Easter, everybody and their brother, all of our joiners were like, well, we got to talk about candy, and it got spicy. So Isaac Allistic, Infinity Bro Isaac, said, we don't have any specific Easter traditions other than getting dressed up nice for church. Of course, yes. But I do have some opinions on Easter candy. Reese's eggs are the best Easter candy by far, and no one in their right mind should ever consume a Peep.
Preach it again.
Oh my goodness. So my father-in-law, I'm calling him out now. He gets the Peeps, but he opens them up and lets them sit for months until they're hard. And then he eats them like they're chips, just popping them in there, and they're crunching. They start crunching like they're potato chips.
That is way too long.
That's not supposed to be a thing.
What kind of chips are you eating, Grandpa? Oh, these are Peep chips. Now, I'm going to say it right here, right now. Just seal it into the memoirs of Good Morning Guys. I love Peeps.
So all
back
right.
off.
Get out of here,
buddy.
Have you had a s'more, but instead of marshmallows, use a Peep?
Dude, I have not, but you say that, and I'm like, dang, that sounds magical. That sounds magical. Now, I will say that I do like well-aged Peeps. Like when they're slightly chewy, I think that's nice. That's just got a nice little chew to it. I don't like it to be too soft and it just dissolves in your mouth really fast. You need a little bit.
This right here. This is a 1989.
That's right. I've been saving this. I might have lost my copy of Bad Dudes, but I still have my Peeps back from the
Peeps,
80s.
In my opinion, Peeps are good for three things.
All right.
Number one, setting them up on a display, like some sort of a candy display, as part of like a Easter thing for the kids.
Yeah, for sure.
Number
two, they do present well. They present way better than candy corn. Let me tell you there.
Well, that's why I'm going to eat the candy corn, unlike the Peeps. Bringing me on to my next point, the next thing you do with Peeps is you blow that stuff up in the microwave.
Okay. I'd still eat it if you blew it up in the microwave, so it doesn't really matter what you do to it.
And step 3, lighting it on fire.
Yeah. There's a certain point where you can just peel away the burnt part and then eat the insides, and it's really yummy.
I love seeing all the videos, like the creative videos of the crazy things they do with Peeps to like just blow them up or do something stupid to, mess with Peeps. Everything but eating them.
Yeah, I don't have a. I'm not for Peeps. I can go either way. I really don't care about Peeps. I don't have an affinity for them or a strong feeling towards them like I do with candy corn.
We got some Peeps from Mindy's mom, who, like I said, sets us up with all the Easter candies. She got us some, I think it was like a wild berry or a mixed berry flavored Peep. And they're bunny rabbits. They're not the typical birds.
Yeah.
And they are tasty. Like they got they taste very purpley, and they have little crunchies in them. It's like a grape, like a berry or a grape flavored. It's yummy. I'm the guy in the family that like Mindy always gives me the grape candy. So I like the grape in particular. But yeah, it's good. Now I need to keep going because the Peep hate continues.
Oh, no.
After Isaac Allistic says what he says about nobody in their right mind should ever consume a Peep, I am in my right mind, by the way, Isaac. Thank you very much. Corey Smith said, I like you. And then Delvin Cox saying,
wait, hold on, to Isaac?
Yeah, to Isaac.
Yeah, to Isaac.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah, because he has his views about Peeps, and so Corey likes that. Corey in this conversation is more just like the guy in the background, like, preach it. Amen, brother. Delvin Cox chimes in. He says, I just came to say that Peeps suck and the Son of God deserves a better candy associated with him.
Amen. Amen.
To which this, yes, Marc says amen with praying hands, and Corey Fouch says preach. Delvin
Corey's
Cox,
back there. Amen.
amen, brother. Then, of course, Delvin continues, and he's like, Jesus died for our sins, and you all give him peeps. I hope to meet Delvin Cox in real life someday. And give him a hug, and then throw a bunch of peeps at his face.
It's funny you mentioned that, Pat.
What did you ask, Pat?
I said, what should Peeps be replaced with? Like, I'm assuming Peeps are like for Easter, and they come around Easter only.
Usually,
and
right.
So, then what do you replace it with?
Well, first, let's let Delvin ask his question, then you can ask your question.
I'm sorry,
because his question's kind of related to your question. He said, "Now I actually have a question. If you could right this wrong and have another candy associated with Easter, what would it be?"
Oh,
I mean, I feel like Peeps aren't already the main Easter candy. It's chocolate, like chocolate eggs, Cadbury eggs, chocolate bunnies. It's chocolate. It's not Peeps. Peeps are like, I mean, they're the candy corn of Easter. Like, I get it. You know, Marc and I have this in common. We both really like something that a lot of other people do not like. Let's look at the sales number for Peeps, and it's a lot. Like, they sell a lot of Peeps. I haven't done the studies like Marc has to defend the honor of candy corn, but I do know that Peeps sell, or they wouldn't put them out there for people to buy. So,
and just like candy corn, everybody's like, they're for decoration.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, I mean, if I could choose, I would say ring pops. That should be the Easter candy of choice. Like,
I can get behind that.
Put a ring on it. Lots of flavors, shaped like the cross, or shaped like a bunny, or shaped like whatever.
So there is this particular type of German chocolate that's sold, and it's spelled Riesen, and it's pronounced.
You lost me. You're gonna have to say it.
It's pronounced reasons.
Riesen.
Okay. And so I say that those are the candy for Easter, because Christ is reason.
I'm gonna say fine. Then I'm gonna say almond joys, because it's a joy during Easter.
There you go.
It's true.
All right.
But I don't know. Not a lot of people like the coconut or the almond.
Yeah, I don't care for the coconut part. I like the
almond. Some people don't like joy. Some people like to suck the joy out of our lives.
Yeah, some people don't like joy, so they eat Peeps.
You stop. It's the other way around. The Peep haters are the ones that don't like joy.
Listen, now, I get this from you all the time with
I know
candy corn,
it's
so
your turn.
Now's my turn.
But you know what? I'm not alone, because who swoops in after Delvin has spoken his blasphemy? None other than Justice in Greece. And Tim, our buddy Timmy Pollen says, "Oh, you mean like candy corn?" In response to, Delvin talking about what should be the Easter candy. And all we get from Delvin is a shaky fist.
The Arthur
I'm going
fist.
to punch you in the Arthur fist. I'm going to punch you in the mouth. GIF. And of course, someone mentions candy corn, and Marc says, "I wouldn't mind that, but I wouldn't want such a divisive issue to cloud such an important celebration. Easter doesn't need that kind of heat."
Yeah, that's
good call, Marc.
Yeah.
Good call. Justice in Greece does continue later. Says, "We used to have a big get together when the kids were little. Now they have girlfriends. Otherwise, just copy and paste Isaac answer. Oh, and second favorite Easter candy is, as always, will be jelly beans. They taste like fruit, so they're healthy, right?" I like Jelly Belly jelly beans, like higher end. I do not like cheap.
No,
get it at the dollar store jelly beans. Those are disgusting.
Have you ever had the Sweet Tarts jelly beans?
I can get behind that.
That is like crack for my wife's side of the family.
Yeah.
Like all the women in my wife on my wife's side of the family, like they have to have like multiple bags of.
See, if I'm gonna have something like chewy like that, I would rather have like Skittles.
Yeah, I can
Who
get behind
also
that
makes
too.
jelly beans.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
They make Skittle
Okay.
beans.
they sure do. So I'm very much the Reese's egg guy. Like I've got to
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
Reese's eggs.
yeah.
Um,
I'm
uh,
overall more
I'm
chocolate too.
nerds. I'd rather have like a candy rather than chocolate.
Oh, okay.
So and I
Oh
like
yeah, I learned that about you while you were here.
yeah.
Nice.
Yep, yep. Yeah, I'm in the chocolate realm.
Mhm.
Let's see. Last one is unsorted dad jokes. Travis Popsicle. He said, not much anymore for Easter because the kids are older, but spent the day with family, then had to drive to Maine for work. I do have a question, and it's a mixed bag for different families. We always had our Easter basket hidden, and we had to search the entire house for it. When I met my wife, they never did that. Baskets were just on the table for the kids when they woke up. However, she tried my way out, and the kids absolutely loved it. Lots of great
Yeah.
memories. So, what do you do in your house, or what did you do while growing up? Happy Easter, family.
We
You posted
definitely
this. Yeah.
oh, go ahead.
Well, no, go ahead. If you have more to, I was
I
just
was
going to
gonna say
say,
we have
we kind
definitely
of
done
answered
that.
this. Yeah.
We have definitely done that before where we hid the Easter baskets. And
Right.
for some reason we didn't do it this year. But now that he says that, I'm like, why didn't we do it this year? Because the kids love it. You know,
Yep.
except for the kid who still hasn't found their Easter basket and they're frustrated because all their other cousins are eating their candy.
Yeah. Well, this year we gave them a empty basket and said, fill it up, find your candy. And so we did kind of derivative
Yeah,
of that.
yeah, yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never really did the hunt part of it. It was always just there on the table in the morning.
Right.
It's like Santa leaving presents under the tree.
Yeah. That's what my experience was growing up. Nobody's hiding bad dudes from me. I could smell that Nintendo game from a mile away. I'm like a bloodhound with Nintendo games. Nintendo cartridges. You can just that smell. If I could smell that again, that would bring back so much nostalgia. Yeah, I think the last thing that I just wanted to mention about Easter is that I think for me, the whole Easter bunny thing, like you mentioned, Mark, about how riled up your uncle gets about the Easter bunny, and like I always imagined that the reason kind of the church in as a whole encouraged it is because I mean bunnies come out of holes like poop, like they're emerging from the ground most of the time.
Yeah.
So it's like it's symbolism. Whether that was the intention or not, it doesn't really matter because it fits. And so
Jesus
to
truth
me,
it.
that's what Jesus was. The one person that did that raised to life and came back. I mean, it's this holiday. Regardless of your religious faith, not focusing on the religious part of it. I enjoy that. I enjoy the music. I enjoy the festivities and the food and the candy and the family get-togethers and going to service and getting dressed real nice, like Isaac said. But when it comes down to it, Easter to me, regardless of what we do, remembering who Jesus Christ is for in my life and in my friends and family's lives and people that I am around and with, the fact that he raised from the dead and saved my soul, like saved my life, and he's my best friend. And so like kind of remembering that day is just like always just a refresher, like just a spiritual wind that just blows into my sails and just keeps me going for the rest of the year. Like I really appreciate that about the holiday. And I feel like while that can get lost in a lot of the things we do and the commercial stuff, at the same time, like it starts with us. And I know, Patrick mentioned reading 10 chapters of Luke. Like that's dedication. That's awesome. Like really sitting down and reading the story and really getting your kids to kind of follow that duality. But at the same time, remember that when it comes down to it, the chocolate's not always going to be there, but Jesus Christ will always be there. So
Yeah, and I was reading
awesome.
it in ICB. I think it's International Children's Bible or something like that.
Oh, there you go.
Because for the kids, like I was reading it, and I was like, this doesn't sound right. Like this isn't the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's funny.
It was just like, because there's you say stuff like there was there he was wearing stuff that was like lightning or something like that, and it was like, I can't remember what verse that is, but it's a light. They say lightning. And then, because that's what I remember. And then in the children's book, it was just shining robe instead of a lightning robe, whatever.
Jesus with his glittery robe.
Yeah, I was like, glitter, what?
Like shimmering.
Rhinestones. So beautiful.
Yeah, look at rhinestones. You're encroaching on like Elton John outfit territory. You better be careful.
Yeah, we're done with the Elton John talk.
That's not in the West Virginia version of the Bible.
Yeah, so. That's the West Virginia version.
Steer away from this kid.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'll save that for another episode.
Yeah.
All right. Any last minute Easter thoughts, last things? I think I covered everything.
We definitely had a comment on Twitter.
Oh,
what?
We sure did.
These guys coming in at the last seconds.
Yep. So Splig.
Go ahead, read it for. Splig. I should have known.
Yeah,
he is faithful to sneak it right in at the end.
Yep.
All right, let's hear
it. He says #DadHack. Go to all the Easter events around us. Our church gets priority than any and all others. Only open 5 eggs or so each, and the rest are what we use at home for our own egg hunt. Already packed, saves time and money. We also do a small batch of real ones for dying.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Like, especially at the age his kids are, like that's the perfect time to just kind of reuse, recycle. Well, like even for our daughter, they did like a box of chocolates exchange at church in the morning. Then when we hid stuff in the afternoon, we hid that again and had her find it. So. Nice. And she was like, she had fun just finding it. So it was all good. And she's 12, still entertained by that.
Yeah.
Boom.
What a nice little girl.
Nice little girl.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all for our excellent extravaganza and existential discussion of Easter. Okay, maybe not existential, but yeah, we're done talking about Easter. Good times. Thank you, Jesus. We also want to talk about Moon Knight. I have no transition for it, so bumper music. That's right, folks. We are talking about Moon Knight episode 3. If you have watched it, join us for the next few minutes as we discuss it. If you have not watched it, you have been warned. This is spoiler territory. Skip ahead 10, 15 minutes. 10 minutes, I think. Actually, 11 minutes and 33 seconds is the exact amount of time we're going to talk about it. So the title of this episode is The Friendly Type, and we continue in Cairo with Marc / Moon Knight and also Steven / Mr. Knight. They're hunting down Arthur Harrow and his goons, his followers in Cairo. They're trying to locate Amit's tomb and helping her resurrecting her, bringing about Judgment Day. Of course, by the end of the episode, he and Layla definitely fail a little bit, along with Khonshu, who gets imprisoned in stone after setting the stars back thousands of years to find the location of Amit's tomb. And what did you guys think of this halfway point episode? Marcus?
So the pros, first off, I'm actually absolutely loving the very modern day look of Egypt, actually portraying modern day Egypt the way that it should be. You know, even though Egypt has the Great Pyramids and all that on the Sphinx and all that kind of stuff, but like there's like modern society there. So it's definitely great to have them do that. It's interesting to see Marc and his perspective on things and how he does things. You know, and his interactions with Layla, and Layla, and addressing the fact that, you know, he had this issue of dissociative identity disorder before Khonshu ever happened.
Right.
and he just never wanted to talk about it. And
Yep.
and now there's this moment of vulnerability where he's actually talking about it. He's like, I actually had it under control before, until very recently, and all of this stuff. And it's interesting to see the show, deal with mental health on the show, in the face of all this Marvel fantastical type stuff. One thing I'm super excited about is there's a portion of the episode where it's Marc trying to chase down these guys, Arthur Harrow's guys, trying to track down where Amit's tomb is, and try to stop Arthur Harrow and stuff. And it's the same like 3 or 4 guys that he's going back and forth with Steven with. But then there's this other scene where all of a sudden they're all those guys are dead on the top.
Yeah,
of
like all but one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mark's like, Steven, what did you do?
And he's like, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
And he's like, it wasn't me either. I'm like,
there's a third one.
So there's a third.
At least. Who knows?
We're definitely getting
Patrick's
more than likely
shaking his head.
More than likely, we're getting Jake Lockley, who is his third identity in the comics. So we'll see how they introduce that. But I will say, we need a little bit more of the actual Moon Knight character. I get the focusing on his alters, his multiple identities and things like that. But I want to see him more in the suit. And so I'm hoping that these next 3 episodes that we have remaining will have him more in the suit. But I
thought they've stepped it up in every episode. He had a decent fight scene with the horse guy and the getting stabbed a bunch by the javelins or whatever those were, and fighting with him and Layla, and working together there. I thought it was pretty. But you're right. There is a lot of people time. Marc, Steven, their discourse back and forth. Kind of. I think it's interesting that they're working on their relationship and kind of a love triangle between those two and Layla, which it's not really a love triangle because it's the same person, but because of the dissociative personalities, it is a love triangle because you can see Layla's distrust of Marc kind of go up while her interest and attraction or connection with Steven increasing, because she kind of he's a softer side of Marc, which is what happens when someone has dissociative. It's their personality just being fractured, and so you have the softer side of Marc being expressed through Steven, and of course what you're talking about with this Jake guy being the more violent, angry, let's get it done or take him out kind of mentality that's being fractured for whatever reason. So.
But I'm still very much in for the ride. I'm loving the show so far still. Big shout out RIP to, I believe his name is Gaspard Ulliel. I think that's
the guy that played Anton Mogard, the rich dude on the horse. Yeah,
that he passed away.
In January. Yep.
So shout outs to him and his family for sure. But Pat, you got any thoughts? You've been shaking your head quite a bit.
I am not liking this show, at all. I do not like how they throw you into the middle of Moon Knight's life and his whole everything. Like there's been no origin story, so it's really, really hard to follow this. I do not know nothing about Moon Knight and the background and his origin story and all that stuff. All I know is from the short Wikipedia thing that I read, and they're having their own spin on it. And because they're having their own spin on it, I need an origin story. I need to be invested in these characters. I am not invested in these characters. I still don't know who the heck Moon Knight is and what the heck his powers are, because apparently he can get stabbed by a bunch of javelins and then all of a sudden he has no holes in his body. Please tell me what is going on.
They touch on that though.
Also, what? Because he's just like, he has a suit.
Yeah, Khonshu literally says, "You have my healing powers." He literally says that to him.
Yeah, healing powers, not just all of a sudden he's done. Like he's like, oh, what? Maybe I should just stand up and it's gone. Like he has these javelins in his body, and then he's like, let me just shake my head, and then I'm ready to go. It just felt way too overpowered, based on like you can't. They don't even show like you said. We need more. I need more Moon Knight. I need a more of a backstory. I really could care less about the DID he has. Like now they're going to incorporate another identity from him. Like, come on. Like I because I haven't seen an origin story yet. Like they're introducing way too much right away. There's only been 3 episodes, and I just feel like it's way too much. Like I am not having fun with this show at all. There is just way too much going on. There's way too much I don't understand, and I think the way they're telling the story is awful.
Okay.
There you go. The gloves have come off.
But I say this, I'm still gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, it's Marvel. I'm gonna watch it.
Right.
Because usually they bring it back, and they may have an episode where they do like a flashback scene or an origin scene or maybe part of an episode, because these episodes are pretty long. So I can definitely see them doing that. And then some of the other stuff that is happening may make more sense and be like, okay, I get it. But for right now, I'm just like not enjoying it.
Yeah. I would say I fit somewhere in the middle of, I would say I'd lean more towards Marc at this point in it. In terms of just where my headspace is with it, I'm okay with kind of the hinting at the origin story. They've like really, now that you mention it, Patrick, I'm like, I could go with an episode. I could have gone with like a episode that like showed some kind of like but we're pretty much like, they're drip feeding us every single character. Like even Khonshu, we're like figuring out, okay, I still don't know what Khonshu is. Like he's a god, whatever. Like I feel like I'm having a real hard time fitting this show with the rest of Marvel. Like it seems up to this point, anyone who has been a quote unquote god is an alien. And I think with this, it's more insinuating that the Egyptian gods are a part of another multiverse or another dimension, and they like are mixed in with our dimension, and they have that little meeting where they have their avatars, and they have I will say as a side note, the Egyptian gods are idiots. Like that whole like fake jury, that fake thing of like what's his name again? Haro, are you digging up this? And he's like, no. He's like, well, see, he said it. He's not doing
I
it.
know, right?
Go to where they're digging up the site, and you'll see they're trying to resurrect Amit. Like that whole interchange, and like Poe Dameron, whatever, Marc, like Oscar Isaac, like talking, like Khonshu talking through him, and like Scream talking. He's like, you know what you did, like just like talking crazy was a little jarring, but them like working with their avatars and the gods, like it was an interesting concept, but I don't feel like they pulled it off because the gods were way too dismissive. And I understand there's history with Khonshu. Like they don't trust Khonshu because of what he's done in the past, and it's clear they were just looking for a reason to
they're in on it,
banish him, or
they're in on
that's
it.
true. Yeah, the one guy, that's true. The one guy, he did talk to
they're
Haro
a
at
split
the end.
council. Like the ones that actually responded, like they're in on it. They want him to do this because they want to get rid of Khonshu. They want nothing to do with him. And they want to be able to come back to, being who they were. Now, granted, a lot of them are kind of complacent in being in the Overvoid, which is this place that their physical forms have been banished to, which is why they need avatars on planet Earth. But they're in on it. Now obviously there's the one that was actually kind of romantically involved with Khonshu, that
helped them, right?
Actually
that
helped
talked
them
him
out.
at the end. Yeah. I don't remember
she
her
sees
name.
what's going on.
The goddess
Seemed
of love
like
and
a nice
music
lady.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I feel like she's going to come into play at some point.
more than likely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the only thing to this point that this show, like if they didn't have the Marvel thing at the beginning where they, swipe through the comics and show the Marvel thing, I would have no idea this is a Marvel property. Like they mentioned Madripoor in this episode. There's like a name drop by one of the bodyguards, but that's been the only moment where I'm like, okay, you're officially a part of the MCU, but I'm still, for me, what I've appreciated at this point with all these MCU things, like it's all like fitting together as making, again, one big large canvas of superhero good versus evil, like this whole multiverse thing. And I'm having a hard time. Like I'm keeping up with the story in and of itself, but and they're doing it definitely in a unique way, but I'm having a hard time connecting it to the overarching story, which is what I enjoy the most, is everything affecting each other and, multiverse stuff and all that jazz.
Well, they're supposed to start filming Blade this summer, I believe.
Yeah.
So if you have Blade, you have Doctor Strange. He's got his movie coming out.
Yeah.
Hopefully at some point they drop a Ghost Rider movie at some point. There's a particular line of comics called the Midnight Suns, which they're making a video game out of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Moon Knight is part of that group.
Yeah.
So that's a direction they could go in with it and bring it back into the MCU. But I think just for this, they really wanted to really contain the story as much as possible. Obviously still have subtle nods to MCU stuff, but and they may drop a little bit more in further episodes, but it just seems to me like they really wanted to keep this as contained as possible. But
yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see where it goes from there.
Mm-hmm. We will. We're halfway there.
Whoa.
Yeah. So beyond that, we also have a new thing to do.
We do.
That I like to call GMG Goats, the Good Morning Guys' greatest of all time shows. We're gonna lay it on you every week and gather 40. That's right, 40 series or shows or whatever you want to call it, because half the people in the world don't even watch stuff on TV anymore. So it feels kind of funny to call it TV, but you can call it TV if you want. We are going to throw out our nominations every week, and sometime around episode 200, maybe a little bit before, after, during, we're not sure yet. We're playing it by ear. We're gonna do what we did with video games, with music, with what was the other one? Movies.
Yep. And
we are going to rate our favorite shows of all time. So this is our first night of nominations.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and say Ronnie's pick, because he's not here with us, but he definitely had a clear choice that pretty much I said, I'm just going to say this for you. And he said, good choice. And that is The Office, the American version, to be clear.
Good
Nothing
pick.
wrong with the British version, but I got weird show calendar, release dates, specials.
Sure thing.
So yeah,
Lucas, what about you? What are yours?
I'm just gonna go right out and say it. Friends, the best show on earth, number one. I'm gonna call it now.
All right,
Friends.
then I'm also gonna go with Friends.
It's on there twice. Friends season
already.
8.
No, okay. I'm gonna go with the same kind of era, and I'm gonna go with Seinfeld.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So I'm going animated with it.
Look out.
Yep.
I have a feeling I know what it
Animaniacs.
is.
Yes. Hello, nurse.
Yeah.
Batman, the animated series.
You got it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Right. Okay.
Yep.
There
Batman
it
the
is.
animated series. Absolutely love. Like, I can watch those today, and like they're not like kiddie type television show, like cartoons.
Like Hello Kitty.
Not that kind of kitty. Like,
Okay.
like child corny type cartoon shows. It's like
I gotcha.
adults and kids can enjoy this show, because each and every episode, the story has, some depth to it. And the animation is incredible. It holds up so well today. And just the way that they designed it with everything was drawn on black background, and it just adds to the gothic dark look of Gotham. So
yeah.
So, and plus I love
Very good.
Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. They're the best.
All right.
There you go. 4 shows down, 36 to go. Let's do it every week. We're not going to miss a week this time, right, boys?
No way, Jose.
We're not going to let anyone miss a week.
Not going to tie myself down to that.
It's too bad. If you're not here, we're going to pick a show for you. Or and it's going to be, I can't think of a terrible show right now.
Mario Kart 64.
Oh, the Mario Brothers. Yeah. No, the Mario Brothers show. That's what I'm going to mention.
Animated series.
Dun, 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 dun. All right. Folks, as is tradition, we have reached our housekeeping time where we offer towels, fluff pillows topped with Andy's candies, and tip you off to the GMG news that you need to know. The GMG stream team is offering content and conversation from Sunday to Saturday on that old Twitch. So check out Chris, who's currently playing through Arkham Knight for GMG VGBC during the week, and Destiny 2, The Witch Queen, with me on Saturdays. You can also check out Marc, who's playing the Zelda games, specifically Majora's Mask, on Saturdays as well. I am playing a variety of games. I have new daily themes that I'm throwing out starting this week: Malace Mondays, Tower Tuesdays, Hades Hump Days, Flay the Spire Thursdays, and Friday Free for All. So
I love Thursday.
Join me. Play the Spire Thursdays. I am, of course, going to pepper in Horizon Forbidden West amidst those. And so feel free to join all three of us. Twitch.tv. Links are in the show notes. If streaming's not your thing, you'd rather tweet on Twitter and discourse on Discord, you can find the links in the show notes to those. We hope to hang out with you. And if you want your voice to be heard, you can call us at 929 GMG Guys. That is 929 and some numbers that spells GMG Guys. Ask a question, make a comment, give some feedback. Speaking of feedback, if you're the giving type, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Podchaser and Spotify. And don't be like a mosquito and bug us and zip in my face and make me want to scream and smash you to pieces. That would not be good.
Don't be a mosquito.
Instead,
if there's anything you take from this episode,
instead, give us stars, exclamation marks. You can give us feedback, an encouraging word. We hope you will let your voice be heard. All right. Pat, Marc, and the spirit of Ronnie J, along with you, our beloved friends, family, and joiners, not mosquitoes. Go get your good morning this week. And may God bless and guide your lives as you live, as you work, and as you game.